before going there, I think there's a lot of question marks on the move because it was something different. Even for myself, I wasn't sure what to think of it. It was something that was a lot different to, say, playing in the English leagues.
What was the league like and the culture for the football?
Yeah, I mean, it was. I think it was a lot different to playing at Swindon. When Lyon's interest came about, I just thought it was a no-brainer because of the size of the club.
So, welcome back to Life for Kitman. Something a little bit different again. We are joined by Jake O'Brien. Obviously, he's in France, so we couldn't get him on the sofa. So we've sat on the sofa again. He was obviously with us on loan for a short while, a couple of years back. He's gone a long way since then. So how are you, Jake? You all right?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, very well.
All good here. Well, it's fair to say since you're on loan with us, you've had a little bit of a journey since. Obviously, you come here on loan. You went back to Palace. Last year, you went and played in Belgium. And now you're obviously playing in France. But we'll take it back to when you were with us on loan. How did that loan sort of first come about? Like, when did you sort of first know you were coming on loan to us?
I mean, well, obviously it was my first loan spell. It came kind of December time. Just through my agent and the club, and just said there's interest from a few clubs, and Swindon was one of them. And then at the time, obviously, looked at the way he played, the manager kind of played, and just kind of suited me to come to Swindon. Obviously, I seen it was a club pushing for promotion, and you have obviously good players in the squad too. So it's kind of a no-brainer to come there my first loan.
I suppose it helps as well. Like you just said, we were a team that were winning games, and we were sort of at the top of the table. So it must have been a lot easier for you to settle in. And as you said, it was a good group of lads.
Yeah.
Easy.
No, I think the most important thing was the group of lads we had. I think in my mind, I think we're the best squad of players in the league. Obviously, little moments in the league kind of let us down, but the quality of players we definitely should have won the league or got promoted through playoffs or whatever.
Yeah.
But I suppose there's been a lot of change since the manager, everything. But no, even the manager at the time was great with the players, I think, and the staff.
Yeah.
I just thought there was a good bond there.
And obviously, you're from Ireland, and you come over to England. So you're obviously at Cork City before you went to Palace. So when did you sort of start playing football? How did you start playing for Cork?
Cork was kind of my local as such. Well, it was my local town, but it was kind of the biggest step in terms of playing in Ireland. I suppose it's different to playing in England, but it's the highest you can go in Ireland. I suppose it was the Premier Division there. So I kind of joined them at the lowest age of academy was under 17. Then they used to play under 17, under 19, and senior, but it's different now.
Where were you before you were under 17s at Cork? What were you doing then? Just playing like.
Yeah, I had 3 clubs, so it would have been Lakewood, Athletic, College Corinthians, and then my local club that I've been at the longest has probably been Lyon United. So that would have been my town I grew up in. And then obviously I progressed to Cork City under 17, which is kind of the highest step in terms of playing elite level in Ireland. And then I played 2 or 3 years there before getting into the senior squad in Cork City. Played kind of the second half of the season. There was 10 games before getting moved to the Palace, which was initially on loan as well, with the option to buy. So I went there on loan, and then they had the option to buy, which after I think it was 4 weeks they bought me.
So it all come about and just scouts coming over in Ireland, or
well, I think it's different nowadays, isn't it? It's kind of a lot of it's done through social media, but like video scout and all that stuff. So I was invited over in trial to Palace. It was in December time the year before. I was there for about 10 days, 2 weeks, played 2 games against Bromley and Luton. Then I just got the they kind of opted to get me on loan with the option to buy. So
How did you find being at Palace? Obviously, very decent sized club, Premier League.
yeah,
In that, did you see a difference? Obviously,
yeah. I mean, coming from Ireland, I think the setup, just everything is a lot higher standard. I mean, in Ireland, we're not at that stage with, I mean, training grounds and stadiums and just the facilities, I suppose. So making that move is obviously a dream come true, because I find it's very hard for people from Ireland to get the move over, especially now with Brexit. You have to be 18 to get over. So I mean, yeah, I made the move during COVID, so it was kind of different back then as well, because everything was closed down. There was obviously regulations what you could do and not do, and there was obviously no people at matches.
Yeah.
But no, I wouldn't say no to it again.
I remember when you signed for Swindon and you walked in on the first day, couldn't believe how big you were.
Absolutely.
I think it's fair to say, since we've been here in the 5 years, definitely the biggest player we've had.
We were like,
Yeah.
get some.
Yeah.
Obviously, you were only here for 6 months, but we had we had the Man City game, obviously.
Yeah.
Sort of joined, and then when you look at the end of the season, we obviously had the playoffs, which you were involved in both of the games. What was your? How do you sort of remember the playoffs, and what was your sort of view on it?
I mean, obviously the one that stands out to me is the forfeit game, of what happens. But I mean, we put that aside for now. But I mean, yeah, I think we're not harsh done by, but I think we're definitely the better team of the teams in the playoffs. So we were very unlucky, and it just didn't click, I think, in them games. And I suppose they're games you need to win as well.
Should we have had a penalty though? Second leg, handball from the cross, and the geezer.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Absolute dead cert penalty. We win the
game. Well, obviously there's decisions, but so football is, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what football is.
Something for you, obviously. You're only 22 now, so obviously it's something good for you to experience at such a young age, though.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think playing in first team environments from that age, my position is very important. Even just the physical aspect, just being around experienced players, just having that bond, because I think it's a lot different to progressing in your career as opposed to playing in academy football. It's not the same thing. People are like, oh, he plays for Man City Academy and Chelsea Academy. It's just not the same as playing in first team football. When people are playing to play for, like, I suppose, their jobs and just trying to win the league as such. For the academy football, it's more so developing players.
Yeah, it's a lot more about the result, isn't it? Where obviously, the result's not so much of a problem when you're in an academy. We spoke to quite
exactly,
just about that, and even it's just a lot more riding on it, obviously.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's important for players to go and play first team football.
You made
maybe
debut for us at Mansfield, was that right?
Yeah, I remember.
that was that was my debut. Yeah. I remember that. Yeah, the pitch was all cut up, and the first ball I received, and I got smashed. I remember doing my ankle in that game, and that kind of carried that through for the whole 6 months I was there. Really.
Yeah, that was quite early on in the game as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was only the first 15 minutes. I remember I just done my ankle in, and I don't know why I played on it, but I was like a balloon the whole game.
Yeah.
And then the game was 3 or 4 days later. So I just took a few painkillers and played on. But that was crazy. First game.
No, I can't remember, but I do remember obviously his ankle blowing up.
Yeah.
We had quite a few players that were playing through injuries that season.
Yeah.
To be fair.
Yeah. That was a good few, to be fair.
Yeah.
Cool. Before we go on to the move after us back to Palace, everything else, should we do your 5-a-side team?
Yeah, just on the 5-a-side, it's on players I've played with, isn't it?
Yeah, players you played with, yeah. So just go keeper, then the players, and then we'll talk about the players after you've named your team. All right?
Okay.
Go on.
So keeper, I would put I mean, Anthony Lopez, so he's obviously here now. I just think he's because he's an experienced keeper. Yeah, he's just experienced. He's older now. He's played a lot of games for Lyon. So he'd be my goalkeeper. Centre back, I think Mark Away at Palace. You can probably see he's England international now. I just think he has it all really. Clever player. And just he's a really good lad as well, just to be around and to learn from. Another centre back.
And 2 defenders.
And 2 defenders.
2 defenders.
Oh no! So it's 1 keeper, 1 defender, 2. 1, yeah, 1 defender.
Yeah, you can do it however you want. You could have 4 defenders if you want.
Nah, not on the 5 side. Coco Tolisso. He's obviously here. He's again experienced Champions League winner. I could have him in front of you, obviously, because he's just a great player. Obviously, again. Next to him, I put because I love playing when I was at Swindon was Reedy.
Yeah.
I thought really, especially in the season I was there, I thought he was really good. Just kind of the playmaker.
Technically,
so I'll put him next to him and Coco next to each other, and then up front I'll put 1 left. It's 1 left, isn't it? So people 2. Yeah. Lacazette. I suppose it's an obvious one, isn't it?
I thought you were going to go along that line. To be fair.
Yeah, I suppose it's an obvious one. He's for what he's done and the career he's had. So
good fun.
He'll lead the line for me. Yeah.
I think Reedy would enjoy that as well.
Yeah, Reedy.
Reedy will enjoy that.
Reedy and Tolisso kicking up in there.
Yeah. I was just thinking as well. We've obviously put all the shirts in the background, so we tried to sort of mirror it up to players you've played.
Yeah. No, I need to get you one over as well.
Yeah, we need a Lyon.
Send one through. A Lyon one.
So yeah,
definitely get one.
We've gone international sort of, and we've sort of put players that you played with behind. And then when you said the centre back there, I was thinking, why have we not put a Palace one? Because we got
a Palace shirt.
Yeah, we've got a Palace one. So I was thinking, why?
Oh
yeah. Nice one. So.
Yeah, we've got Jeffrey's shirts, haven't we?
Yeah, I don't know where it is, to be honest.
I think it's in the rail. Yeah, we've got honestly, Jake, since you some of the shirts we've got a whole rail here now. It's crazy.
Fair enough.
We'll show you. Yeah.
Yeah, you're not short jerseys, yeah.
Yeah, we've got loads now. Yeah, we need to get one of yours in it.
Very right.
Yeah, no, for sure. I'll definitely get one sent over.
A good team, that. Gaffer, if you had to pick one?
Gaffer, to be fair, I don't think I've had a bad gaffer in my career so far. I think everyone's been good. I think it's hard to pick one. Obviously here you've Fabio Grosso, who's kind of given me my first taste of the standard of football. But then
he was
I've had many good managers. I love Ben as well. It's difficult. It's very difficult.
You don't have to. We can just go on to the kit if you want.
Yeah, I do wanna.
Go on then. Your favourite kit from your career so far?
I think it'd have to be Lyon. I love their kit. The Adidas. I think it's very nice. It's definitely the best kit I've played in. And even looking at other kits, I love the look of it and the stripes and just the context of it.
They've always had nice kits, to be fair.
They've always had nice kits, yeah. So even when I was joining, I was like, oh, it's a sick kit to play in as well. Yeah. And their gear, just for training and going to matches, is sick as well.
Just before we sort of move on with the rest of your career since Swindon, I just want to quickly say, you just said about the manager there, Fabio Grosso. Like, what's he been like? Because I mean, I'm part Italian, but yes, I'll just chuck that one in there. But obviously, I remember in 2000 he scored the winning penalty to win the World Cup for Italy. So, what an unbelievable career. How's he been with you?
Yeah, no, for me, he's been great. He's given my first taste in football here. So, I mean, most of the staff are Italian. He's brought over a few with him. The trainings have been tough. I mean, a lot of running, just the Italian kind of trainings. So, I mean, we do a lot of running. It's very physical. But no, he's been great. The way he's been with players, the style of football he wants to play. And no, I suppose it's not been easy for him coming into a team where we weren't doing great. I'm still not doing great, but you know, he's he's been great since he's come in. I think we have a good connection. Yeah.
So obviously, since we last saw you, you went back to Palace. Then you had another loan move. So you obviously went to play for RW.
Molenbeek.
Yeah. I didn't know.
Molenbeek. Yeah.
I knew I was going to say.
Yeah. No, it's confusing when you see the RW at the end, but yeah, it's Racing White Ireland Molenbeek. It's the full name. Yeah.
What a season you had there! Obviously, you won the league. That's right, isn't it? Got promoted.
Yeah. No, we won the league. I mean, before going there, I think there's a lot of question marks on the move because it was something different. Even for myself, I wasn't sure what to think of it. It was something that was a lot different to, say, playing in the English leagues and just going and maybe trying to work your way up there in the system. But no, I was kind of just open-minded to it. And when it came about, and I thought, why not go over there and see what it's about, and gave it a go.
It just grows you as a player, though, doesn't it, going abroad? I always think this, like, the players that go abroad, they learn a different style of football, they learn a different culture, you know, and then eventually, if they make their way back to England, they've got this more rounded kind of education of the game, if you like.
Yeah. No, I think it could develop you in the styles of play. I thought it was very technical over there. But I think, moving away from home for a second, well, not for a second time, but to a different country, I think for a lot of players, it can make or break you, and it's you can either take it in your stride or it's just sink and go back, and it just wouldn't do you good. But I took it as a move I wanted to express myself in, and it was something different, obviously. But I loved my year there. The lads there were really good as well. With a lot of cultures there. I mean, half the team was Brazilian. There's obviously French speaking, Dutch speaking, English speaking. So it was a very multicultural squad. Yeah. But no, it took us to the last game to win the league. So it was special, to be fair.
Am I right? There was another player from Palace on loan there as well, wasn't I? Can't remember his name now.
Yeah. Luke Blanche came with me initially, and then he left in January, and he went to Lincoln, back to England.
I suppose that helped at the start, though, to have somebody that you were familiar with.
Yeah, no, it definitely helped going over there, having someone when I suppose you're not sure what it's going to be like over there. But then as you get to know the lads, it's a lot easier, and they're all top lads.
What was the sort of the culture over there? We were just saying about how every league's sort of different, and what was the league like and the culture for the football?
Yeah, I mean, it was I think it was a lot different to playing in Swindon. It wasn't a physical league, but it was very on the floor, technical, same as like kind of the Dutch divisions. So I mean, like a European kind of football on the floor, kind of tiki-taka, I suppose. But rarely would you see it kicks long or being physical. Obviously, you have the few games where it is physical, but it was different to the English game. So I mean, having played in Swindon and learned from that side of football, and then going over here is two different types of football. So I suppose you develop in two different styles, and it helped me in both ways, really.
Cool. Before we go on to you know, return to Palace and then you move to Lyon, should we do some quick fire Kitman? What boots are you wearing at the
moment? To be fair, I'm mixing and matching between Puma and Adidas right now. At this moment, I'm wearing Puma. Yeah, so I'm just going to try both of them out. So the colourway is a bit mad. Pretty yellow. Sorry?
What did you wear in your last game?
Adidas.
I'll stop when you just said Puma Adidas, because you obviously wearing Nike Tempos when you were.
Yeah. No, so
grey and blue.
I suppose I've been trying. Yeah, I wore Adidas in Swindon as well, and then obviously I changed to the Tempo. So very loyal.
Go on, favourite kit as a kid?
As a kid, I think the Man United one. Do you know the one, the AIG?
Yeah, with the white.
Because I followed them obviously, and then they won a lot of titles in that. So that just comes to my mind when you think of it. Just that kit. One sounds good.
Cut socks or long socks?
Cut socks.
Cut socks. So socks without a foot.
Just more comfortable. Yeah.
Your shin pads. Are you a big old shin pad, or are you like put something up and stick it in the job?
No, I've regular shin. Well, I've shin pads, but they're small. But they're not as small as some people now take the mick, and they've like ones like mafias, but I'm not like that. I just have small, so I suppose, small shin pads.
Fair enough. And you've done favourite kit for your career because you did it in your five-a-side team.
Yeah.
So cool.
So obviously, after last season, you obviously went back to Palace. How long did you have left on your contract, or was it?
When I left Swindon, or was it before I went to Lyon?
Yeah, last season. Sorry.
So after I came back from Swindon, I had 2 years left.
Right. Okay. And then when you got back from Malbec,
I had 1 year left. Yeah.
Oh, so you have 1 year left.
What happened? Where, like when you first heard of the interest of Lyon, what were you thinking? Like what was happening?
Well, like it was kind of something that we were in talks for about. I mean, since the start of the summer, and I had a few other clubs just from in Europe and England, just from because obviously I thought I had a good season in Molenbeek, but it kind of dragged on a bit with all the talks, and I went away with Palace for pre-season in the US, and then when I came back, then I kind of just started to progress in the talks, just because I seen there was obviously two good centre halves in Palace that are starting. So I mean, for the minutes there wouldn't have been good, and then when Lyon's interest came about, I just thought it was a no-brainer because of the size of the club. Moving away wouldn't have been a problem because I think that's fine for me. And then, yeah, as the talks went on, we had talks with obviously the owner. He was the owner of Palace and Lyon, so it made things a bit easier in terms of progressing with the talks. And then I just came to the decision that I wanted to leave and go to Lyon and kick on from there.
Well, they spent a little bit of money on you, didn't they? Was it £1 million or something? £1 million?
Yeah, just over £1 million. Yeah.
Great transfer, but you know.
Yeah.
We always talk about like players' journeys after being here and stuff, and like to think that 18 months prior to you going to Lyon for over £1 million, you would come in here on loan and you were playing away at Mansfield in your debut, and you were like, we were losing in the playoffs and all the rest of it. To have made such a big leap and such a journey across 18 months
I remember when
incredible.
I can't think of where we were. We were somewhere, and then we just seen it pop up that you had signed there, and we were like, just because of like obviously
how quick
how big of a jump that was. We were just like,
wow, what an unbelievable
it was just unexpected, I think.
Yeah, no, it is different. I suppose seeing an Irish lad in Lyon, it's not your usual thing to see. But I suppose, just trying something new and coming out of your comfort zone, and then you reap the rewards, I suppose.
Incredible move for you.
How's it been sort of living there and settling in on that side of it?
Yeah, no, I mean, it's a lovely city. I didn't know what to expect, but it's literally, it's so nice there to live. You have everything: the food, the restaurants, the shopping. There's a park literally 5 minutes from me. It's really nice to live there. Everyone's really nice.
Yeah.
So I got no complaints.
Bit like we said with the Belgium league. How have you found the French league? I mean, have you started the last 5 games?
Yeah, started the last 5. Yeah,
I think
yeah.
You scored in the last game that you played, didn't you?
Yeah.
Obviously, it was a needed win. Looking at the sort of results that you've had, so hopefully that sort of picked up for you now. But
we need to pick it up.
First appearance.
Sorry,
first appearance for Lyon.
Yeah, no, it was exciting. I suppose. Obviously, coming here, I wasn't expected to get minutes straight away. I kind of knew I had to work my way into the squad because there's a lot of good players here. But I kind of just put my head down and worked on it, and then obviously when Fabio came, he gave me the chance from what I'd seen in training, and I mean I was excited, and I thought I had a good game on my debut, and then just kind of started every game since then, really. I know the league's it's a tough league. It's fast. It's technical. A lot of good players here. So I mean, you got to be on it, but that's what you got to do.
Yeah. Best game so far since you've been out there? Obviously, you scored the goal, but
obviously, I suppose you got to say that this is the game I've scored in, just because. And then it was our first win, and it was important. And then obviously scoring makes that that bit better.
How have you found, obviously, the language side of it? If you found that hard, or do they speak much English?
No, it's kind of dominantly French, but I'm doing lessons about 2 or 3 a week. It's tough. I mean, French is very tough. It doesn't make sense at all, really, compared to English. Everything's backwards. Yeah, everything's backwards, and the pronunciation is just, it's very tough. But I mean, I can understand a lot more than I can speak. So when team talks or whatever in French, I can kind of understand what he's on about when he's pointing here and there. But then you ask me to say something, I'm like, bonjour.
Yeah, what's that? It was after. I can't remember what game it was after, but there was maybe it was the one that you scored in. There was a game the other day, and we watched the interview, and I think you said a couple of words French in it, but obviously,
allez, Noël.
You had like an Irish French accent.
Yeah, you were trying to like put an accent on, and we were like, "This is class."
No, that was probably when I said allez, Noël. So that means come on, Lyon, as such. So I wouldn't say it was a French sentence, but yeah, I know. My granddad said the same to me. He goes, "Oh, I seen the interview. Tell me you were speaking French during the interview." And I was like, "All I said was allez, Noël." So he thought I was saying the whole thing in French or whatever. And I was like, "No, that's all I said."
It's just the Irish French accent going on was funny.
Yeah, because sometimes I speak fast, so I suppose some people
can understand.
Could you tell sort of how big the size of the club? Obviously, French fans are so passionate, aren't they?
Yeah, I knew it was a big club coming here, but I didn't realize the extent. I mean, the stadium is huge, and the fans are very passionate. I mean, on either side of the goal, you have the ultras. So you'd have there's like a stand on each side, and you have the guy that kind of is in charge of them all. You have a microphone, he's kind of leading the chants, and it's a bit mad, like. But now there's thousands of them, and then obviously the facilities are one of the best I've ever seen as well. So I didn't realize. I knew it was big, but not to the extent of this, really.
Fair play. I think that probably
sort of
about wraps us up.
Yeah.
Been brilliant talking, Jake. To be honest, it's been so long. It's been too long. I mean, we should have spoken to you a lot sooner than this.
Yeah. No, I've been following you obviously on the TikToks, and I kind of feel like sometimes I'm there because I know what's going on.
Oh, to be fair, the TikTok from when Jake was with us, where me and you are doing the whole tipping the water into the
water, yeah, trying to get TikTok ideas.
Brilliant. So if you haven't seen it, go and watch it because it's hilarious.
But no, even you, I mean, you've grown the channel a lot since then as well. It's going to blow up as well. Obviously, Jonah's video you singing, I was getting when I seen that.
Two of them now.
Yeah. Love a good sing along, but no, even the group of lads you have now looks a close knit group. It's always, I kind of feel like it's Swindon. It's always a close knit group. Everyone's kind of, it just happens to be really. So yeah, no, hopefully you push on up.
Yeah, hopefully we pick up some results and we,
no, still very early.
Yeah, we'll keep the TikTok going strong.
I'll be following.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers, mate. Yeah. So for the people watching, if you're not following us on the socials, get and do it. Obviously, this is going on our brand new YouTube channel, where there'll be lots of other content over the next however many months and moving forward. If you're not subscribing to this channel, subscribe to it. When we get to 250 subscribers, we're going to do a big giveaway. So that'll be fun. Other than that, cheers for your time, Jake.
Yeah.
Cheers for having me. It's a pleasure.
Don't forget to send that shirt because we need one for
No, definitely. Yeah. No, definitely. I'll get it done. I'll get it sent over.
Be front and centre for the next one.
And all the best for the rest of the season, really, and hopefully
same to you.
Keep playing and progressing.
Yeah. Thank you,
Yeah.
Brilliant. Cheers, Jake. Cheers for your time.
Cheers, lads. Cheers for that.